have people asking where my video is since Ryan's done his. I keep saying, oh, I haven't had time, or I'll do it later. The reality is I'm scared. I'm scared of doing a video, especially by myself. I'm scared of getting vulnerable with people. I'm scared of saying the wrong thing. And what I mean by saying the wrong thing is I'm scared of not taking full accountability, or putting other people in my story in an uncomfortable position. I super on this spiritual path right now. I'm not saying I'm super spiritual, I'm just trying to be. I'm working really hard at trying to be better each day. Far from perfect, but yeah, I prayed before I started this video just because my fear is real, and people want to know a little bit about what my trauma is, and it's really hard. I don't know where to start. I don't know. People are asking, well, just what's something in the last year? Well, if I talk about just last year, kind of needs a little backstory to it. So I'm gonna do the last 5 years quick rundown, not go into detail about each thing quite yet. I just got off work at Bishop's, yeah, shout out Darby, and I'm sitting in line at the school to pick up my daughter. I have a few minutes before the bell rings, so figured now or never. So here we go. Back 5 years ago, I woke up on my birthday with a 8-inch tumor in my throat. I had no signs of that there was anything wrong. I had had a CT scan done of my throat 6 months prior to that, and nothing showed up. I had done another surgery, and they went in through my throat and nothing. And 6 months later, full-on tumor. Ended up having thyroid cancer, had my thyroid and 38 lymph nodes removed, did the radiation treatment, and thought I was in remission, and COVID happened right after. So I guess it's been 5.5 years about. And I thought I was in remission. I thought somebody was monitoring my case. Come to find out, my doctor wasn't even in the country. Nobody was monitoring my case or my meds correctly. I wasn't on the correct dosage that I was supposed to be on. I was on about a quarter of what I needed for my brain to actively function properly for a couple years. I went in because I was having other health problems, and I wanted to get a hysterectomy. And when I went in to do that, they found by my blood work that my cancer not only was back, but it never went away, and it was worse than ever. So I got a new doctor and was doing all that, getting ready for cancer treatment. My next round of radiation, they wanted to do a second dose at 150 millicuries. And 2 days before I was going in for the radiation, my mom and I walked into my son's room and found him. He had passed away from the pass out challenge. He had gotten addicted to using a belt to pass out. It was a euphoric thing for him. We had talked about it. He had promised me he wasn't going to do it anymore. And he didn't die from asphyxiation. He died from the blood flow to his brain being cut off. They investigated all of it for about 6 months because it didn't seem right. There was no note, there was no nothing. It just was off. We got a call 6 months later saying that you guys are cleared of your son's death, we're ruling it. this, and like, it was enough that it was weird enough that they investigated his death for a while because it just didn't seem right. That was July 10th, 2023. So my cancer got put on hold, all my cancer treatment. They told me I couldn't grieve and do treatment at the same time. A year later, during this time, I was already in active addiction and went 10 times further and went straight to fentanyl. I just wanted a way out. I felt like I had failed my son. I had failed my daughters because they lost their brother. I had failed my husband. I felt like the man is supposed to protect from outside threats, and the mom is supposed to protect from inside and emotional. And I failed. I didn't know how to function after that. A year later, my oldest daughter I took her into the hospital, and she ended up getting checked in for suicide ideation. And everything just stopped. I didn't know how to process what was going on, and the thought of losing another child or me dying and giving her a chance to have somebody else come into her life that could do it better than what I was capable of, that seemed like the better plan. I know now how stupid that sounds, but in the moment, especially being in active addiction, I was the problem. It was me, and I could only solve it by removing myself from the equation. I attempted suicide twice, and obviously it didn't work. On the third time, I had taken a piece of fentanyl and swallowed it, and I was found on the floor of my closet by my girls. My 15-year-old had walked in, seen me, and walked out, and my daughter, who was 6 at the time, tried waking me up, and I wouldn't wake up. She heard a man's voice that said to get ice and put it on me, and she kept getting more and more ice until the voice stopped. Because of my suicide attempt and my girls finding me, DCFS was involved. And when they tested me 4 days later, I was at a 28 for fentanyl in my system, which normal avid users of fentanyl test between 5 and 10. 10 is normally an overdose, and I was at a 28 4 days later. Technically, I should not be here. I ended up in B-Med, and when I was sitting on the bed one day, I had just this aha God moment that if I'm going to be here and I'm not capable of dying right now, I'm trying and it's not working, then I might as well start trying to live. And so I sat there wondering what the hell I was supposed to do and how I was going to do this. I had the thought of when was I the best version of myself, and that's when I was going to AA before. So I called up Old Man Joe, and anybody that knows me or him knows how annoying he is and how much we love each other. I needed somebody that wasn't going to take no for an answer, that would help me show up to meetings, and I decided in that moment that I was leaving my husband of 20 years. That was not an easy decision. And I went back and forth on that many a times. And so I started going to AA again. I literally packed a backpack and left, and would randomly get more stuff. I wasn't allowed to see my kids for several months. Had a whole DCFS case going, and literally just threw myself into AA and NA. I started working a solid program in NA, and started to really work on myself. It has not been an easy road this last year, and learning how to take accountability for not just the things that have happened in my life, but the behaviors that I exhibit daily. Let's also mention that I'm bipolar with BPD and still going through cancer treatments. And trying to regulate my emotions, especially when I have to go off my hormone meds for different testing and such. It's a pain in the ass, and I'm all over the place. What's really cool though is that I have a higher power and a spiritual connection that I can trust during this process. I am far from perfect. This channel isn't about us already being healed. This channel's about how we want to heal and what we're doing and what's helping us. We're not saying we're right. We're not saying we have all the answers. We're just saying this is what's working for us. So that's my little backstory. The bell is ringing, so I gotta go. Next time.